I'm an attorney in Ann Arbor, and I also run the ACLU's Juvenile Life Without Parole Initiative, and then have a hat as the Mitigation Access Committee for Youth. And I think, so I came to this work, maybe that's where we're starting in a couple of different ways. One, from meeting so many people like him inside. But I think, you know, a sense of the deep inequities here. I mean, this area, for all the law that I've done, the area involving youth and criminal justice system is one of the ones that has the most deepest inequities that I've ever seen in the law. And at the same time, as it's an inequity that reflects very harshly on our social and the state's responsibilities. So we have responsibility for youth, and it seems so often that we shuck it off and instead punish youth for our own failures. And the punishment rains down on youth of both color and both on class and color issues. So never before did I ever see the criminal justice system do something like take a youth and transpose its essence of youth and say, we're going to treat you like an adult. It doesn't happen in any, you can't think of it in any other circumstance, that you somehow have this mythology that you will be something that you're not. I can't make Judge Connor a woman no matter what he does. You know, he remains a man. You can't transpose race, or so to say you are not a youth because of what you've done, I'm going to treat you as if you're an adult. And that concept has been rejected everywhere. Even the only time I've ever seen it try to be done was they tried to take a person who, because of his terrorist acts, they tried to treat him as a non-citizen in the Hamdi case, and the Supreme Court said no. I mean, he may have done these acts, but he's still a citizen entitled to be treated as if a citizen. And so whatever a child does, to pretend that they're not a child is just such a deep disservice to our way of looking at the world. And it's not done in any other circumstance. So I think conflating the work I've done in education, on boards and representing students, and seeing that they're, if I fail, they become my clients in the criminal justice system. When you say what happened to all the youth that you didn't help, I know they're 90% of all the youth that come before me with sentences, and especially the long-term sentence, are the youth who were suspended or expelled from school at the time they committed their offense. And that is just shameful, because we know how to interrupt that trajectory. We know how to do it, and we don't do it. And so I think that that's a shameful thing on us, because as we were talking earlier, a child who is not a student, which is the identity of a child outside of the family, is feeling it has no identity out in the world if you're not a student, because that's what kids do. They go to school, and you take them out of that identity and you tell them that they don't deserve that identity. It's so incredibly destructive. I mean, we all understand, you know, the media said, oh, understand if a child gets bullied. We understand that the consequences could be a child committing suicide. I mean, that's all the anti-bullying stuff, the worry about the deep impact it has on self-worth. And no one talks about what do you think the value, what you've done to a child who you've kicked out of school because you say you're not worthy to be with your peers. It's state bullying in a very deep way, and if you don't think that that's incredibly destructive to a child, and then take a child and put them in prison because of what they've done as a child, and you tell them you're not worthy to be a child and we're going to put you in prison, I mean, I find it astonishing. And so to see the kind of deep harm that's caused, and to see the incredible resilience of youth on the inside, their capabilities, and see what we all know, that they age out of criminality, that if you take them out of circumstances, they can grow and do grow, and that it's a complete waste to incarcerate them beyond any worth of, you know, protecting public safety, but a kind of vengeance and ignorance. I know, you know, the court system has to deal with this all the time, but it's completely arbitrary. Let's say, oh, a minimum of 15 years or a minimum of 25 years, which has no tie to anything. I mean, it has no meaning. Where did the 25 years come from? I mean, we know that youth grow up and age out of criminality and their brains develop at 24. So why would you keep them till their 40s? We know the majority of people don't commit crimes after the age of 35. And so why would you keep them until they're 40? It's just irrational.